a child in Texas is abused or neglected to the point that it's no longer safe for them to live at home, the state removes them. And if there isn't a family member to take them in, the Texas Department of Family and Protective Services, specifically Child Protective Services, takes custody of that child. In order to do that, the department contracts with nonprofits with experience in finding temporary homes and managing treatment centers for children who need specialized care, and even facilitating adoptions. Historically, caseworkers and other staff members who work for the state manage the cases of the children and work with those nonprofits to find the best place for the children to go. Many people know it as foster care. It's a system that's been around for decades. But from former caseworkers,
it is a broken system, and I could not stomach any more of it.
Absolutely just unacceptable.
To the judge overseeing the 12-year ongoing lawsuit against the department,
a federal judge threatened to levy several contempt of court charges against the Texas Department of Family and Protective Services.
It is no secret, it's a system that hasn't always worked. Vulnerable children separated from their siblings, moved out of their communities and away from their schools. Some even forced to sleep in unlicensed places like offices and hotels because there isn't anywhere for them to go.
Approaching it from a statewide model hasn't worked, right? And I think we see it.
That was Esmeralda Silva. She's an implementation director for the state office that was specifically created to transition Texas's foster care system from one that's historically been run by the state and its employees to one that will eventually be completely run by regional nonprofits. It's called community-based care, and the state of Texas has been slowly rolling it out region by region since 2011.
But now it's shifting away from that one-size-fits-all model to a community-driven work.
Under the community-based care model, the department divided the state into these regions and plans to hire a large nonprofit or an SSCC for each one. Those nonprofits then hire the case managers and all the other staff that used to work for the state, and then they handle all of the placement and case management work while the State Department steps back and oversees them.
It allows families to be able to be closer together. It allows the youth to stay in their same school districts, in their own communities where they're comfortable.
Kimberly Carter is the director for Region 3 East for the department, which includes Dallas, Collin, and these 7 counties in the eastern part of the Metroplex. This month, the state took the first step in transitioning this region to community-based care.
When you have an agency as big as ours, there are a lot of layers to getting what you need done. And I think that with community-based care, it removes a lot of those layers, and they will be able to make changes as needed when needed.
The company the state contracted to provide community-based care in Region 3E is called Empower. On September 1st, Empower entered stage 1 of taking over the foster care system for the eastern part of our area.
What that means is that for all the children that are in paid foster care, we will then transfer those children and families into our network, and then we will take care of them.
Empower Senior Vice President Dr. Linda Garcia says in the first phase, Empower will start making the payments to the agencies that place and house the children. The big shift and test will come in about 6 months.
Families won't see the impact until stage 2, right? Because that's when the case management shifts. That's when they may experience the caseworker change.
One of the biggest concerns here is whether Empower can convince enough current experienced state workers to come work for them. Carter says more than half of the state staffing positions in Region 3E will transfer to Empower.
There are people who are grieving because this is a major transition for them, and they've been with the state for a long time. And I'm encouraging them that if they want to continue this very important work, that this is where it will be.
But state salaries and benefits are hard to match and harder to compete with.
Do you know how the salary you're offering them compares to what they're coming from?
Our intent is to try to match the salaries that the caseworker are currently making as we bring them over. In some cases, though, we may not be able to.
This month, Empower started hiring for Phase 2, full case management, which is scheduled to roll out by March 1st of next year. It's budgeted for 449 employees. Community-based care exists in 7 of these 16 regions drawn out by the state. Metroplex East may seem like a sliver on the map, but with such a dense population, Silva says transitioning Region 3E will bring about 1/4 of all of the children in state care into community-based care.
This is our largest area that we've transitioned yet. So we have over 1,000 children who we're transitioning.
How will we as a community know? What will we be able to see that it's working?
Yeah, I mean, I may cry in this response, but really, my hope is that we are changing the system.
Again, phase 2 is slated to be rolled out by March 1st of 2024, and we are going to keep an eye on this. We will be watching the staffing process and the impact this has on current state employees, and of course, caseloads for those caseworkers, which has historically been an issue for CPS. You can read much more about this for Region 3E and other parts of North Texas right now at WFAA.com. In Dallas, I'm Morgan Young.